Ladies and gentlemen, CNN's town hall with Trump was an unmitigated disaster for CNN and Democrats. It was a pretty amazing accomplishment, resounding victory for Trump for a number of reasons. Number one, he got to express or communicate his vantage point for once on CNN. CNN is essentially an extension of the Democratic Party, like MSNBC, the Washington Post, New York Times, The Atlantic, New Yorker, New York Magazine, Daily Beast, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Rolling Stone, Los Angeles Times, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. You can just, Arizona Republic. You can look at any major newspaper out there. They're going to say that Trump is a menace to society. He should never have been born. And they're going to ignore the fact that we had record low poverty under Trump in 2019. Record highs in household median income. He should have focused on that in 2019. The Doha Agreement, Abraham Accords, first president to step foot in North Korea, prison reform legislation, a great foreign policy, and 2% inflation. Real wages were up. The opposite is taking place with Biden. Real wages are down. Inflation's through the roof. We have bank runs, and we're 90 seconds to midnight, according to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. We're talking about a possible, there's already a nuclear confrontation, and even worse, because of Biden's foreign policy. But one of the highlights and most amusing moments was when he called the CNN host a nasty person. You're a nasty person. And the reason he did that was because she treated him in a manner that Biden is never treated. Biden never in a million years, not even for presidential, meeting. Biden doesn't even really speak to the press. Trump was always at odds, speaking to the press conferences all the time. You have people afraid to raise their hand. There's Ducey at Fox News, and then we don't know of anybody else. You had performance artists go after Trump every single day. Oh my God, you should be ashamed of yourself. And here's the issue, okay? When you are going to not let a former president speak, okay? Nobody has been treated in the manner that Trump has. Nobody, okay? It was a defamation trial, not a trial regarding the underlying crime, a defamation trial, yet it's been reported in a way that doesn't reflect reality, reflects simply politics. He had a right, through his team of attorneys, to negotiate a release of whatever he took from the Oval Office. Clinton didn't even give what the Federal Bureau of Investigation wanted or what Congress wanted, and nobody said anything at CNN. Clinton siphoned top secret and special access program intelligence onto servers outside the U.S. government and then gave the hardware completely clean, deleted of any information, okay, and broke phones with hammers, okay, and that was considered compliance. But the CNN host, and hit subscribe to this channel right now. You'll have numerous segments today because things are heating up. Hit subscribe to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. Patreon is below. Super thanks is below as well. If you want to go ahead and see Trump in action, like his locomotive or the train that's revving up and gaining momentum, gaining inertia for 24, last night was amazing. That's why AOC and all these other people are like, oh my God, CNN, what are they doing? And by the way, he's up in Real Clear Politics. The last poll was a Yahoo News poll on May 8th. He's up by 0.7 points. Okay, ABC News poll, late April, he was up by 6 points. But in an aggregate RCP, he's up by 0.7 points. But he called the person a nasty person, okay, because the host would not let him speak. The CNN host was belligerent and in his face in a manner that Biden would never in a million years be treated. About Hunter, about his failed economic policies, his failed foreign policy. Never in a million years would Biden be treated this way. And when Trump is given a chance to speak, look, I always say this. He stands up for himself, unlike Bernie Sanders, and I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post. I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, okay? I was begging through, like, the TV set, please, Bernie Sanders, please, Bernie, stick up for yourself, stand up for yourself, stand up for... This is, of course, before I realized Trump would preside over record low poverty in 2019. It's a moral imperative to vote for this man, Trump. It's a moral imperative. You have record low poverty in 2019, record highs in household median income. And I keep repeating myself, but it's like, he should focus on that. Real wages up, bringing home Americans, which is the most important thing to me, from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts and quagmires. And he did that in numerous theaters of conflict, Trump. That's the moral imperative for me. And along with other reasons, he was a fantastic president in terms of policies, which is how you judge a president. Not the apoplectic media coverage. And then one of the CNN people, they said, well, you can have that with Chris Christie. No, you can't. Chris Christie isn't going to bring home Americans from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. He's not going to go up against intel agencies and say, no, I want the soldiers home. No, Kinzinger's not going to do. Kinzinger voted over 90% of the time alongside Trump, and then still cries at Trump, oh my God, Trump the menace. But Kinzinger and Cheney voted 90+% in Congress alongside Trump. But foreign policy and economic policy, they're not going to level tariffs at the most populous country in the world. Okay, Trump will. It's a short-term tactic that, by the way, Biden is still using. Okay, they didn't reverse Trump's tax cuts or the tariffs, and yet they created a big stink. But here, there is an obvious divide between Trump and the media and Biden and the media, okay? The media serves as an extension of Biden's administration. And Jimmy Kimmel and all, they're serving as an extension of the Democratic Party. Trump is running a 4-2-40. Oh no, a 4-7 5-second 40 with a 100-pound backpack. Okay? The media and Hollywood, that's the 100-pound backpack. There is no mainstream in America today. There is a concerted effort, a maniacal, frenzied, apoplectic effort to suppress Trump's charisma, fame, his appeal, his popularity. If the media stays out of it, he runs away with it. He's defeating Biden in the 24 RCP average. He's already defeating Biden. Imagine if just the media didn't have a dog in the fight. CNN, when he says, "Hey, you're a nasty person," that's his way of saying, "Look, you're not treating me in the manner that you would treat Biden." There's not one liberal or Democratic pundit who could honestly say that Biden would be treated in the same manner, and that's not right. And regarding classified data, he had every right as a president to declassify anything he wanted to. The Supreme Court upheld that decision. He didn't have to. Look, Hunter didn't voluntarily give his laptop. That was an accident. The laptop shows that Joe Biden likely committed felonies. Yes, felonies. Okay, the New York Post. AOC will be defending these felonies because she's part of a machine. So will Bernie Sanders. Okay, so they will ignore the fact that median house, the real wages are down in this country with Biden. Real wages were up with Trump. Okay, there's no point in talking about how great your economic record is if inflation is cutting into salaries. And inflation was not cutting into salaries, well, at least not in terms of a negative. People are losing money on their paycheck now because of inflation. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. He pushed back. He defended himself. When Bernie Sanders was debating Clinton, I was begging for Bernie to act like Trump. But he's a tool of the Democratic Party. He doesn't care He doesn't care if there's endless military conflict or real wages down or poverty increasing. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now.